Hi guys, thank you for tuning in to our podcast, Married Life with the Eleys. We'll be discussing Christian values, married life, parenting, cooking, everyday life, difficult topics, and everything in between. It's gonna be fun, y'all. But I'm a little scared because I don't know what's gonna come out. But anyway.
Eley enforcement, just stay tuned. We calling this music to pray to. With all of the evil we make do, we still gotta manage to stay true. Have a breakthrough and just make do. Deal with the pressure to stay cool. If you feel us mountains, you can't move.
Is starting
and this is your
now.
music to pray to.
Welcome back to another episode. Welcome back to another episode of Married Life with the Eleys. I am Marcus, aka caDASHtrophe. This is my wife, Myreah, and her new hair. It's all hers, y'all. It's all hers. But yes, we have been through a lot since the last episode. Yeah, we made you wait a little bit, but it was for a reason. It was for a purpose. It was some stuff that we definitely dealt with. It was definitely some stuff we dealt with.
We got so much to tell you guys.
Yeah. And I don't even know if we're going to be able to tell you all of it in this episode. And you dropping rice over here.
I'm dropping it on my plate.
Yeah, so where do you want to start? While I bite my sandwich?
We've been talking about our journey, obviously, from Fayetteville, North Carolina to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And as you can see in our background, we're still in familiar territory. Like, we're still at our old house. Now, the reason why, well, only God knows the real reason why, right? But we actually did get all of our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're still practically packed. The stuff that you're seeing, that's the stuff that is like getting thrown out. It's just only here because we're here.
Right.
But otherwise, all our stuff is, most of the important stuff is in Oklahoma already.
Yeah.
But we went to Oklahoma, and because we did not have a set place to go yet, because again, like we told you guys before, God did indeed promise us a house.
Mm-hmm.
And we know which house it is.
Mm-hmm.
But that house is not available for sale right now. And we have not even received the provision that we need to get the house yet.
Yeah.
But we were still trusting God. We still like, look, we're gonna get out of here. And so we actually took a camping trip in Oklahoma. We went camping just to go, like just to be there, because a lot of hindrances, we believe, or delays were tied to this ground,
right,
to being here. And so, we just went to Oklahoma. We believe it was under God's instruction. And
it was hot.
Oh man, the hottest day was 113, I believe.
I want y'all to imagine something. Put this together. Imagine yourself inside. Yeah, that happened. Imagine yourself inside a tent. It's a tent. Obviously, it's a tent, so there is no central air control or air conditioning. There's no real sense of electricity. No climate control, so to speak. And it being 106 degrees. Imagine that. All you got is heat in your thoughts. It was hot. Sweating like a slave.
It was so hot I couldn't even think.
Sweating like a slave. Sweating like I worked at Purdue.
We got pictures.
Mm-hmm.
We got pictures.
And then on top of that, heat it wasn't just heat. We were there for 7 days.
7 days.
6 nights. No.
7 nights.
7 nights. What is it, 7 nights?
7 nights, 8 days.
Okay, 7 nights, 8 days. 6 out of those 7 nights. Storms. Now, I want you to imagine something else.
Not just any storm.
I want you to imagine something else. Being in a tent. Meaning, no concrete. No brick. No steel.
No wood.
Just fabric like a windbreaker. And wind.
Breaking.
And lightning. And when I say lightning, this is like no other lightning I've ever seen in my
We were
life.
seeing the bolts strike the ground right there.
I mean, wind so bad.
So bright.
Wind so bad that it broke the tent.
Unfortunately, we
The
just
last
had
day.
one more night.
Yeah.
We just had one more night when the tent was broken.
You know, I
We
mean,
slept in our car.
yeah, because it stormed 6 of the 7 nights, but there were like maybe 2, 3 of the night where it got real.
Yeah, 3 of the nights we had to sleep in our car. The first night we slept in our car, not because of the storm, but it was no storm. It was because when we arrived, it was very, very late.
Like 2, 3.
Yeah, it was after midnight and it was dark and no one was about to try to set up a tent in the dark in unfamiliar territory.
Right.
And then,
The other 2 storms,
right, well, one was a storm.
and the other
And
night
then
the tent broke.
The other, right, the tent was broken, and then apparently there was a coyote out.
Yeah.
Now, from what I know, or have heard rather, they don't mess with people. However, I have heard that they do mess with small children and small animals, of which we have both. And I won't go and test it. So, we made sure there was no food out, and we slept in our car that night as well. Every single night, guys, every night almost, except for one night, there
one night.
were lightning and thunder storms.
Let's go ahead and get everything.
I heard that. Y'all should see the face right now.
Right? Y'all scared. Jizzle. Dang on it. It done blew the window up. Alright, man. We gonna go ahead and go, guys. Cause, yeah. What? Talk to y'all later.
Most of the stuff over there on the bench is trash.
You closing it. For the bucket.
I'm trying to come out. I was gonna come back.
That's our look.
Yeah. Right now, we got time.
Stay over there.
What in the world? Ooh. You saw that bolt?
Yeah.
Woo.
And the weird part about that is we have the realtor that we're dealing with, and he's from the area, and he said that is unfamiliar for that area. You know, they have storms. Obviously, it's also Tulsa, Oklahoma, so it's in the path of Tornado Alley. But he said 6 nights in a row storm. Yeah, he's never seen that happen.
Right.
But when the Eleys get there,
And it wasn't a tornado though. It was
Yeah, it
just
wasn't
like
a
a
tornado.
bunch of wind and thunder storms. He said like that never happens, especially like in August. That was very unfamiliar the way the storms have been. So it was just really weird. Like I have not even heard about many more storms there since we've left.
Nope.
It was like the storms were happening just for us.
But you know where a storm was? In Fayetteville.
Our faith, I believe, is being tested right now. And so we're walking in blind obedience, and we're doing everything that we believe God is telling us to do. You know, we have given away all of our things. We're renting out this house, or donating this house rather, because we're not renting for any money. We're donating this house to a family in need for a year. He left his job to fully pursue ministry. We released our album, Pandemic. Check it out. You know what I'm saying?
It's out.
But like we have literally done what we believe is everything that God has instructed us to do. And now we're just waiting on his provision. We're just waiting on the next instruction. And I feel like this is very important to share right now. Like right in this time where we're in the middle, that limbo area where there is a bunch of uncertainty in the worldly view, but certainty in the spiritual view. Because even though we went camping and that was a disaster, we pretty much were living in a tent for 7 days, not knowing where we were going, what was the next step. Spending all of the money we had saved, not even knowing like if we was gonna be able to make it back to Fayetteville or make it wherever we need to make it to. Like literally just pure blind obedience and crazy faith. Like everybody thought we was crazy. Everybody was like, oh, y'all need to come back to Fayetteville. But this is what God is having us do. And I don't really have like a real explanation other than increasing our faith. And preparing us for the season that he's taking us to. I still believe in his promises. You know, he has told us that we are walking in one of the greatest seasons of our lives. And I say that to say that in the worldly eye, it didn't look like it. If you came here today and you looked at my bank account and you looked at where I was and just my whole life, like you just looked at everything that's going on in my circumstances right now, you'd be like, okay, they broke and they're crazy and you know. But I feel like there are a lot of couples, I'm not even gonna say individuals, but a lot of couples, a lot of families who you guys get instructions from God all the time, but you are not following it because you feel like people are gonna look at y'all like y'all crazy. You feel like if you're the husband or the father, you feel like, man, this is so crazy. I could never put my family at risk like this. You know, and I say that because this guy really struggles not providing. Like it's almost impossible for him to not provide. Like I ain't never known somebody to fight to not get a job.
Well, was
what?
Was a struggle to get the job.
Oh, it's not a struggle anymore?
No.
I figured it would be an everyday struggle. Like, because of the spirit, it's not a struggle. But I'm saying, like, in the flesh, you're not even now, no more pulls.
No.
But I know if you're a man like him, it's a struggle. Especially if God is telling you to pursue ministry full time or pursue something for the kingdom full time and leave what seems lucrative, what seems comfortable. I know that is very difficult. And even me as a mom, like I was thinking, man, I have a 7-month-old baby. We have 9 kids that we're financially responsible for, 6 of which are in the house with us. Like we have mortgage and we're not even gonna be getting rent for a year. Like we still have to pay the electricity until the new tenant moves in. Like, you know, we have bills, like major bills. We have a car payment. Like, you know, we're thinking about all these things. And then of course we have the funds that we have to allocate to the ministry. To album releases and just all that jazz. So it's one of those things where you can either sink or swim. This is a position that you can't be 50-50 with. Like you have to believe God and just let it all hang out and go all the way in, just trusting like, look, man, this looks horrible, this looks scary, this looks insane.
Without any concern of what everyone else thinks or has to say.
Yeah. And no, like I said,
trust me, I can only imagine.
Like I said, this looks like this is something that's going to ruin me. But I know it's not going to because I trust God. Because I have faith. Because God promised me wealth. Because God promised me prosperity. Because God promised me whatever it is. I want to encourage people to follow those instructions. He will never lead you wrong. He won't lead you astray.
And you know, I mean, even in Tulsa, well, Sand Springs, Oklahoma, technically speaking, even there, you know, there were moments like, as she stated, we were in the tent, you know, camping, living in the tent for about 8 days, 7 nights, you know, and the last day that we were there, that's when, you know, she heard from God that we needed to finish what we needed to finish here, because initially everything that we were going to handle here, we were pretty much going to do it remotely from where we were, you know, because you know we needed a plumber. Okay, yeah, we can send a plumber from over here, you know, so forth and so on. We can make phone calls to, you know, people who provide services. Yes,
right. But God said, come here and finish closing our business here and go ahead and get. We ended up having a plumbing issue.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna talk about it too much in this video. If you want to hear more about it, you can go to the video on my YouTube page. But I pretty much was talking about the things that's been going on here that have been abnormal.
Yeah.
Is it on my YouTube page? It might just be on my Facebook page. My bad. I'm sorry. It's on my Facebook page where.
Because we went live.
No, I'm talking about the video that I just did, talking about the flies and the gnats and the house, house just falling apart. Like, literally, this house was perfectly fine. It's not even old. Like that. Literally, the house is younger than you.
Yeah, 32. Yeah, but I said all that to say. She got the, you know, word from God for us to come back and pretty much seal and close the season by way of handling everything that needs to happen here for the young ladies to move in. You know, so the day that we were leaving, you know, we needed gas. Had to put gas in the car. I think the last amount that I was able to put in was like $11.66, something like that.
Yeah, we were pretty much like out of all our money.
Something like that. And we went. Where did we go first? We had to meet with our realtor, and
he let us store some of our stuff there.
Right. And so this is all after. This is all after the $11 and some odd change put in the car for gas. Last amount of gas we got. And so we were expecting our money to come back because we had, you know, refunded stuff that we ordered on Amazon. We sent the tent back because, I mean, it was broken and needed to refund us anyway because it wasn't supposed to break.
The way it broke, you can tell that wasn't just no daggone storm. That was a freaking malfunction.
Yeah, but
I say that because I don't want nobody thinking, oh, y'all just using, just send it. No, it needed to be.
Yeah, we ain't, well, whatever. But so, you know, we're determining like whether we want to, you know, go to a truck, because at the time of point it's like what, 7 something, 8, close to 8, something like that. We're determining like if we want to, you know, go to a truck stop and rest out, whatever, and chill until
some funds came.
Right. And so me, I wanted to get on the road already because y'all gotta understand it's a 17-hour-and-a-half drive, and I wanted to have a dent in it at least, like maybe 2 hours out of it before we get somewhere to rest. Now, granted, at the time in that tent, nobody got real good sleep. Maybe the kids did, I don't know, but
we didn't because of the storm. We didn't. Like the tent just,
we didn't get real sleep. And
not because we were scared.
Yeah,
I was at peace. I was
hot.
You know how Jesus was on that boat in that storm?
I was hot.
lying there just like.
I was hot, and it's difficult getting comfortable in the vehicle.
He started getting
as a full grown adult. It's difficult getting comfortable in a vehicle.
Couldn't even lean the chairs back because our truck was
we filled to capacity. And so, we look into that. We are in Tulsa. We had to meet the realtor in Tulsa. But first and foremost, we wanted to meet him in Sand Springs so we could preserve gas. But he had to handle business in Tulsa, so that's like a 27 to 30 minute drive, taken away from that gas.
Yeah, I mean, he was already doing us a favor, so I wasn't even about to have him trying to come to Sand Springs.
I was like, gas.
Yeah.
Because and so we get, long story short, we get to a point where the gas is on the red. The light done came on. The light done came on, and like to the point that like the truck stop there, the rest area of truck stop / that we found that was close, it was like 7 minutes away from us. Gas so low that I don't know if we're gonna make it there. The 7 minutes.
I knew we were gonna make it to the gas
station.
Now,
if you ever dealt with that type of situation, you know how nerve-wracking it is.
For me, I just felt like whatever happened, we were going through it because, for one, where God has taken us, especially with the wealth and the prosperity and the major influence that we have, I felt like no one will ever be able to question why I serve God. And more so me. Like, I'll never question if I'm serving God for the things, for the money, or if I'm just serving God because I serve God. Even when, it's just like with Job, when he lost his children and all his animals, and he still was like, look, God giveth and God taketh away. Like,
Yeah.
It was like, this is still my father, this is still God. And I feel like a lot of times it's when you look at like the Christian celebrities, so to speak, and a lot of people feel like they're not real. And I'm not saying they're not real. I'm just saying I know how some people feel like, oh, they're evil, they're devil worshippers, they're targeting Christians to be wealthy and whatever the case. And I think this journey was to build our faith and to make it so that we know we can trust God no matter what, in any circumstance. And also to be able to relate, because if I'm trying to help the poor, then if I have been in their shoes once, even if it's just 5 minutes, I can imagine the difficulty that they might be going through if they've been in that situation for a year or whatever. I feel like there were multiple reasons why we had to go through that experience.
Yeah. So, we made it to the gas station, obviously. Literally, as we pulled into the gas, where the gas pump was, literally pulled into the gas pump, turned the car off. Probably sat there 2-3 minutes, just like, okay. Yeah, we're here. Then, family member. What did they sing?
They sent enough money for gas and food. Right. I think it was
200 something for
282, 280. They sent like 280 for gas and food. Just, random.
Random.
Technically, yeah.
Random.
I didn't know that they were sending it. I didn't ask them to send it.
Yeah. I say that to say.
As a matter of fact, I told them, look, we just waiting on God. Like,
yeah.
Didn't ask, it wasn't like they kind of knew a little bit about what was going on, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm telling you this so you can help me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The way it happened, you know, I believe God moved them to support.
Right. I said that to say, in every scenario, I mean, it might get down to the wire.
Right.
But even with that, when it gets there, the provision is there. It's been there. Every time we've had to figure it out and didn't figure it out, he did. Because Lord knows, we would have been sitting in that car.
We sure would have been.
We would have been sitting in that car.
We sure would have been.
For 2 days. Because that's when the refund came. No, it came the next morning, didn't it?
No, the next night, I think it was, that night. I didn't even care. I was just like, look.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, we here.
Right.
Here.
Whatever God want me to learn from this, let me just
here.
sit here and
Might
learn
as
it.
well take it all in.
Mm-hmm.
We were at Flying J's. Yep, if you ever heard of it, Flying J's.
Just chilling.
Just chilling.
In Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yep. In the heat. Y'all,
Wow.
Listen.
You couldn't run the AC.
Y'all people in North Carolina, I've lived here for the majority of my life, but y'all can't complain about heat no more after I've been in Tulsa.
In a tent when it's 108 degrees outside. And let me tell you something now. It's 108 degrees outside. In that tent,
it's like 112.
120.
Because I remember the first day we got there, and I looked at the temperature on my phone. Matter of fact, I posted it on IG, and with the caption, "Not today, Satan," because it said it was 101 degrees, but felt like 108. And I'm like, yo, how do you just jump ahead 7 degrees? How do you, like, if you said 96, but feels like 98, okay. You feel like 93, but feel like 94. You said 101, but feel like 108.
And guys, I kid you not.
How?
The hottest it had been while we were actually there in the tent was 108. Right? And it probably felt like, I don't know, 113 at the most. But when the day after we were leaving, so we left, but the day after that, it was going to be 113 degrees that day. Twice, like 2 days in a row. That next day and the day after, it was going to be 113. Now, if it felt like 113 on the day that it was actually 108, then I don't even know what it was about to feel like that Wednesday and Thursday, I think it was. But God knew exactly when we needed to leave. And it wasn't all bad. Like, where we camped at, oh my gosh, like it was a lake. You know, we were right there in a nice spot, lake view. It was a playground.
Now,
we grilled.
On another
we had our
note,
own
though,
grill, bench. I mean, it was really nice.
On another note, we had neighbors that didn't, that couldn't get it together. You know, funny enough, that was another reason why we couldn't sleep, because we had people that were next to us, and like, when I tell you, they got there at 11 at night.
They partied for like 3 days straight.
Yeah, and was it was annoying about it too. Not even gonna lie. You know, the storm, like I said, the storm came the night they came. The second time. Mm-hmm. The big one, the second big one came the night they came.
Yeah.
And so they stole our buckets, y'all.
Now, when I say this, keep in mind that we are not prejudiced or racist. I don't care. I love everybody, even if you don't love me. But they were Hispanics, and they just partied and drank all night long. The other thing I want to say about these Hispanics is I feel like God was saying, be more like them. Not about the drinking and the partying, but the whole time when it was raining, they was outside, like cooking, what? Under the tent. Like, they came prepared. Like, when I say it was like they had lived there all their lives.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They was there for 3 days. They packed up and left. But like they came, they had tents, canopies, chair. Like they had
big
everything.
giant fan.
Like they had everything.
And
And
it's
they
gonna
was
sound funny. They brought everybody with them.
Yeah. The whole family reunion.
They
All
brought
right.
everybody with them, and it was like 4 cars, but it was like 50 people. They brought everybody with them.
He
Like
ain't lying.
they had tents across the street. I don't even know if they were supposed to.
I don't know.
I don't think that they were.
But I'm telling you, their attitude, outside of them partying all night, keeping people up, their attitude, they had really,
like they were here.
they had really great attitudes, guys. Like they were without fear, and they were prepared, and it didn't matter what circumstance they were in. They were just gonna trust that everything was all right, and they were having a good time. And they really set a great example for me to follow in that area. I feel like from God, it was a great reminder for us to think about. And the other thing, you know, and I don't know if this is a good thing or bad thing, but the second night in a row that they kept us up past 1 a.m. partying, I was like, I hope a strong wind comes. I hope a strong wind comes and just don't hurt nobody, but just like make the party stop and just pass over our tent. And like literally 20, 30 minutes later.
Second strongest storm we had.
That was the strongest.
No, that was the strongest one. Yeah, the first one was the second strongest. Yeah.
That was the strongest storm we had, like literally 20, 30 minutes.
Because that was the one we we had to get out the tent to the car.
And it stopped the party too.
Yeah, it stopped the party too, for sure.
And we had to sleep in a car because the tent was just like, you know.
Yeah.
But the tent was perfectly fine. Like the next day, nothing was wrong with the tent. That's why also when I said like that tent needed to be sent back though, because when it finally did break, it broke. It didn't have nothing to do with the storm. The way it broke and where it broke, that was raggedy. I feel like the tent was not what was great. God is what covered the tent prior to that last day. It was time for us to leave.
The ride, they have, if you ever put a tent together, at least, you know, an official tent, I guess, because, you know, to my knowledge, tents were like, you know, TPs or whatever. But that tent, it has rods that come with it that are supposed to be able to bend to maximum to capacity. This thing it
snapped. It snapped.
It snapped after 6.
But it wasn't even like no even snap.
Snapped after 7 days of use.
It was like it was brittle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
It was, thank God it was the last day.
Yeah. Because we would have been in the car for the last, if it wasn't the last day.
Somebody's awake.
But yeah, that's part of the journey. Probably gonna hit you with a part 2. But when I tell you, it's been a lot. And in this position we in, faith is really the only option we got.
Right. And so we just want to encourage everybody, like, if you in like what seems to be a drought or a middle space, or you're in a position where God has promised you something, but the reality doesn't seem like you don't see it with your eyes, continue seeing it with your spiritual eyes. People are going to call you crazy. People aren't going to agree with you. People are going to say, if I was you, I would have. You ain't me and ain't willing to go through what I go through. Thank you.
Hey, I would encourage y'all to let your faith talk. Let your faith talk.
And then let it walk.
Because,
faith talk, faith walk.
People can say a bunch of stuff. And if we talking about people, humans, let's be real and ask ourselves, majority of people, how much, as far as the words that come out of our mouth, actually come to fruition. It's a reason for that. It's a reason for that. People should look at us, and if they faith talking, they're gonna say, man, those are two people walking in great faith. But we in the world. We're in the world. We're not of it. We in it. So that means the majority of the people that will see this will say,
they doing the Moses.
Yeah, they crazy.
That's what y'all supposed to say.
They're crazy. Y'all see,
we done been called crazy so many times. Oh, I can see if such and such, and if I would, shut up. You ain't me.
Yeah, we doing the Moses. Y'all said we doing the most. No.
People will try to limit you based on their own faith, based on their own confidence in themselves, based on what they feel like they can do themselves. Is what you telling. I didn't mean to do that in front of you.
Yeah, so.
Hey,
I encourage you to believe it, but if you don't change my faith, buddy.
Yeah. So, anyway, if you don't get anything else from this video, guys, just know that when God gives you a promise, continue to believe in that promise no matter your circumstances. We're being open and transparent with you guys, and even humbling ourselves, so that people can see the journey. I want you to know that it's not easy. There will be days where you are kind of like, okay, God, I've done everything that you asked me to do. What next? I mean, you said you were going to do this. Where is it? Show it to me. Tell me the address. I'll go get it. Like, where is it? But do not lose the faith, and do not allow the devil to intimidate you and scare you into doing something that will forfeit it.
Yeah.
All right? Forfeit your harvest. You shall reap if you faint not.
Also, pandemic out.
It's out. Go and get it.
Cop
Go and
that.
stream it.
Stream it.
It's hot. I'm telling I know everybody say they own stuff hot.
Yeah, you said it's hot. It's holy.
Holy fire.
Holy fire. There we go.
I'm telling you now, look, if you love hip hop, and I don't even mean Christian hip hop, I just mean like if you love hip hop.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do.
I'm telling you, this is a Christian hip hop. You ain't heard Christian hip hop like this. I'm telling you. A lot of people say like Christian hip hop ain't as good as hip hop, and a lot of people say that modern day hip hop is not as good as it used to be in the 90s. Maybe even the 2000s. But I'm telling you, this is real hip hop, and it's faith based, and it's wholesome, and it's Christian.
And the beat's not.
Yep. You gonna love it. All right. If you love hip hop, if you a true hip hop head, you gonna love it.
And if you from the borough, you already know what I do.
Y'all don't know what I do yet, but
you will. And y'all know if I co-sign it, you know what you do.
This guy.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen. This is a gift God gave me, so it ain't got a choice but to be dope. You did?
It's anointed. So go get it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. You got something to add?
Nah, man.
Thank you for watching. I hope you guys get something from this journey. And
Thank
let us
you
know
so
in the
much for
comments.
watching.
Alright.
We hope this
Yes, we love
episode
you
blessed
all.
someone.
If you don't love us,
Ask questions, send us voice messages, respond to our polls. Whatever you want to let off, we're here for it. Anyway, be blessed. We hope to see you guys again soon. We out.
Spiritually, call God. You ain't gotta hear from me, and I know you got a fear of defeat, but he's been here when you weak. Don't get afraid, everybody get weak. Don't gotta say much, he just wait on him when you speak, and when you do, I bet he make your mission complete. Eley enforcement, just stay tuned. We calling this music to pray to. With all of the evil we make do, we still gotta manage to stay true. Have a breakthrough when this make do. Deal with the pressure to stay cool. If you feel there's mountains you can't move, then this is your music to pray to.